Hi again, it's Mrs. Simmons back for Cumberland at Home Summer Edition. Yesterday we played a game called How High Can You Go and How Low Can You Go? And we used two-digit numbers. Today we're going to take that just a step further and we're going to add three-digit numbers, which makes the game a little bit more interesting and you're going to have to strategize a little bit more. So just to review what we did yesterday, if you remember, we talked about two-digit numbers. And we talked about how two-digit numbers have places. Ones place, tens place. We also talked about how we can think of the value of each place based on the number that it is in the place. So for ones place, everything is a single unit, so 7 ones. If we look at tens place, we have to think of things in tens place. So 3 tens, or the value is actually 30. So when we think about place value and we think about those two words separately, the place tells us, is it ones, is it tens? The value tells us how much that number is worth in that place. So today we're going to bump it up a little bit and we're going to add hundreds. So for hundreds, we know that that is a little bigger value. So if you look, we still have ones. You always start to your right. We still have tens, and now we've added hundreds. When we think of the value of the number in the hundreds place, we have to think of it in terms of how many 100s. So in this number, which you know we would read as 637, we think about each place value. So 7 ones, we still have 3 tens or 30, and we have 6 hundreds or 600. That's going to be important in the game that we play today. I also wanted to go over with you something I know you've heard about in your classroom, but we talk about numbers in different forms. We talk about what is the standard form. That means how do we see it every day normally? What is the expanded form? That's when we really get into that place value. And what is the word form of the number, or how do we write it out? Some people like to say the long way. So let's look at our number that we had this morning. We talked about 637. Now this is already standard form. That's how you normally see the number. If we expand it, we're going to take each place and tell its value. So the 6 would be 600 plus, we said this was 3 tens or 30, plus 7 ones. We're expanding it or saying each place and its value. In word form, this is where we have to do a lot of writing. So we write out exactly what we say. 637. Good thing we don't have to write all our numbers that way. We'd be writing a lot. So we have three forms of numbers. We have standard form, we have expanded form, and we have word form. One thing you have to do when you're talking about numbers and place value is compare them. So in the game that you played with the cards, how high can you go or how low can you go, you were trying to build either the highest number or the lowest number that you possibly could. So you had to think about, is this greater than their number or is it less than their number? So when we do that on paper and pencil or not playing a game with cards, there's a certain way that we do it. I'm sure you've seen something that looks like this before. So when we talk about how to compare numbers, we have to know how to use these symbols. The easiest one to use is obviously equal to. So if the two numbers are the same, all we have to do is put the equal sign in there. If the number is bigger, we have to know which sign to use, and sometimes, honestly, they get quite confusing. So a trick that I always used, and I was taught, is that remember when you were little and your parents would try to feed something to you and they'd do the and they'd say open wide? Well, the sign opens wide to the biggest number. That way you can get the most amount of food in. Another way I thought of it is that it points to the smaller number, like, oh, look how cute and small you are. So it's pointing to the smaller number. So let's see how that works. If we have the number 27 and 32, think about, first of all, the place values. Now, we always use the highest place possible when we compare. So we have ones and they both have tens. So let's look at our tens. Would we rather have three tens of something or two tens of something? Which one is greater? So we have 32, we have 27. Which one is the greater number? 32. Remember, open wide to the bigger number. And point, oh, you're so cute and small. All right, we have another one, 102 and 120. Let's look at this one. Let's go place. They both have ones, they both have tens, they both have hundreds. Uh-oh, they both have a hundreds place. So now what do? We think about this. They both have a value of 100 in the hundreds place. So let's move down a place to the right and see what happens. We have zero tens. We have two tens. Would you rather have tens or two tens? I'd rather have two tens also. So 102, we would say, is smaller than 120. Remember, open wide to the bigger number. So we're going to open up this way and point to, oh, 102, so cute. Next one, we have 401, 385. They both have ones. They both have tens. We have a difference here. So would you rather have 400s or 300s? I'd rather have four. So remember, open wide, bigger number open towards it. Point to the, oh, that's so cute, smaller number. And then we have 962 and 962. That's the simple one. What are we going to put there? An equal sign. You are absolutely right. So when we compare numbers, we have to be aware of, is it greater than, less than, or equal to? Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our game from yesterday. So you're going to need the same supplies as yesterday. You're going to need your deck of cards. You're going to need to take out the jokers, the tens, and all of the cards that have a face on them. Then you're going to either need a partner or you can play by yourself like I usually do. And then we're going to actually expand our game today to go into the hundreds place. So once you have your supplies from yesterday that you use, come back and join me and we'll get to playing the game. Welcome back. Let's play the game, how high can you go or how low can you go? And this time, as you notice on my boards, we're adding a place. So we still have our ones, tens, hundreds, that's player one, ones, tens, hundreds for player two. I set it up just a little bit differently because I'm going to add a step and challenge you. So let's do what we did before. Remember, the dealer gives each player four cards. One, two, two, three, three, four, four. The rules still apply. You can pass one time per round. So because I dealt, I'm going to let this player go first. Remember, you're trying to build the highest number possible to beat your opponent. So if I choose here, ooh, an 8, that's not bad. That's in the higher range, right? So I'm going to take a chance and I'm going to put that in my hundreds place. I don't know. I hope that works out okay. All right, next person gets to pick. A 2. I'm trying to build a high number. I get one pass. I'm going to pass. Hope that works out okay. All right, so I have a 5. I have to use it because I've already passed. So I have to strategize a little bit. I know I don't want to put it here, so I could put it here or here. I'm going to put it here and hope for the best in my ones place. All right, moving on. Next person. I got a 3. Pretty confident with my hundreds place. A 3's kind of lower, so I'm going to go ahead and not use my pass yet, and I'm going to put it in ones place. This person's turn. They don't have any passes. A 9. Woohoo! All right. I know right away where I'm going to put this. Where am I going to put it, everyone? You're right. In my hundreds place. I'm feeling pretty good. All right. Next person. An 8. Well, I have one place left. An 8's not horrible. And because I'm playing this way, I can see what my partner did. I'm going to put my 8 right here. And then this person, I have a 1, but because I can see what they did, I can't pass anymore anyway, so I have to put it here. So let's look at our numbers. On this side, we have 915. On this side, we have 883. Think about those numbers in the different forms that we talked about. If I were to write out 905, I would write 900 plus, this is a 1, remember, in the tens place is 10, plus 5 ones. On this one, I would write 800 plus 8 tens or 80 plus 3. Now I have to compare because I'm looking for the bigger number. Remember, go to the highest place possible. Would I want to look at my 9 and have 900 or 8 and have 800? I'd rather have 9. So remember, opens up to the bigger number and points to the smaller number. So that's how I would compare them. Now we're going to play another round, but this time we're going to do the second game where I'm trying to build the lowest number possible. So put those in the pile because we don't want to use those anymore. Let me clean up my board real quick. And think about something while I'm doing that. Think about the strategies involved in this game and how it relates to place and value. So again, I'm going to pass out my numbers. Remember, you can pass once. We're going to let this person go first. It's kind of fun doing that because I'm both people. And we're building the lowest number this time. Remember, after you play a few rounds of the highest number, switch it around and try the lowest number. So I have a 5. That's a tricky card to figure out what to do with, but I don't want to pass yet because it's kind of early in the game. So I think I'm going to play my 5 in the ones place and see what happens. Next person, a 4. Well, now we have to really start strategizing. We know what's in the deck. What's lower than a 4 in there? I have a chance of a 3, a 2, or a 1. I probably should play my 4. I'm going to put it in the ones place. It's a little too early for me to place the hundreds. All right, let's look and see what I have here. Ooh, that's pretty low. I can either put it in my tens place or put it in my hundreds place. I'm going to take a chance right here. I'm going to put it right there. I don't want to pass. Next player. Oh, I got a 5. I have 2 cards left. I'm going to take a chance and use a pass. Oh, wow. Okay, well, I have to use it. I don't want to put it in my first place because I'm trying to build my lowest number. This would be great for my highest number. I have to play it, so I have to put it there. All right. Ooh, I got a 1. That would have been great for over there, huh? I'm going to play it here. And this person has to play there. Oh, they got lucky. And there's a 1 there. So let's look at our numbers. On this side, we have the number in standard form. Remember, that's a 1 in the hundreds. 194. On this side, I have 315. If I write them in expanded form, that's 1 in the hundreds place, plus 9 in the tens place gives me that, plus 4. On this side, 3 in the hundreds place, plus 1 in the tens place is 110, plus 5. Now I have to compare my sign. Remember, I'm trying to get the lowest number. So, 194, 315. I want to point to the lowest number with my sign and open up wide to the biggest number. So my sign's going to go this way, pointing to that. Who's the winner? That's right. How low can you go? Play a couple rounds both ways and good luck.